2022 is coming to a close. Before I start, I do want to say I do have the Fiona Apple discography review coming up, and Passion Project. I'm just finishing up the Passion Project right now, and the Fiona Apple discography review, it's just a matter of me filming it and editing it. But for now, let's go over some lists. Starting, of course, with my 20 least favorite albums of 2022. The worst, if you will. What I usually do is I write down all the contenders. This year I had 28. Last year I believe I had 23, so music seemed to have gotten worse. Or I just listened to more music. It's more likely the second one. But let's just jump right in, shall we? Coming in with number 20, which is Youngblood's Self-Titled. And Youngblood is an artist that I don't hate as much as a lot of other people do, but this was not it. Not even close. There's like a couple of bops here. I will say, I Don't Feel Like Being Sad Today is a pretty fun, catchy song, and The Funeral is a really great single. But outside of those two tracks and Tissues, I don't think there's much more returning with this album. I mean, Sex Not Violence is fucking horrible, to say the least. And the fucking Willow track, Memories, oh my god. I just don't like this. This is a shell of what Youngblood used to be, you know? And Youngblood wasn't even ever that good. He was just fun, you know? And now he's not. The Boy in the Black Dress might be my least favorite song with its sort of shitty ending and shitty twist. It's like the fucking Happening. It's written by someone who you know can write movies/songs, but fuck, they wasted it. Number 19 is a pretty lousy metalcore album, The Classic Symptoms of a Broken Man by The Architects. And judging from that title, you sort of already know what's coming with this. When We Were Young is a solid-ass single, and I still bump that shit. But Spit Out the Bone is fucking horrid, and the ballads on this thing, the fucking ballads. This is if Motionless in White was worse. I'm going to throw that out there. I prefer Motionless in White to this. And that's saying something, especially with their recent album, which was okay. It wasn't good, though, by any stretch of the word. This is horrid. I liked The Architects' last album. I fucking hate this. This is terrible. But coming in at number 18 is Her Loss by Drake and 21 Savage. Look, I know a lot of people like this record. Look, I know it's the collaboration we've all been waiting for. But I didn't like Drake and 21 Savage collaborating in the first place. Mr. Right Now is only good because of Metro Booming's beat and how 21 Savage works on it. Drake nearly fucking ruins the song. And Drake ruins this album. Drake is in his flop era, and he's been in it for a while. And honestly, I think Drake should just retire. He's not making good music anymore. We can stop with him. He made Jimmy Cooks this year. That's the only, great song he made. And that wasn't even because he was on it. It was because 21 Savage was on it. 21 Savage does fine on this album, but he doesn't do good enough to redeem Drake's half-assedness. 21, can you do something for me? Shut the fuck up. Number 17. Return to the Dream Canteen by Red Hot Chili Peppers. I liked Unlimited Love. I wish they just stopped at Unlimited Love. We didn't need this. This wasn't necessary. This is bloated as fuck. This is a horrid album. I hate Eddie. I hate the other single. I can't even remember the goddamn name of it. That's how much I hated it. I like 3 tracks on this thing. Fake as Fuck being my favorite. That one goes hard, actually. But fucking Anthony Kiedis is going off on some bullshit, and it's not even in a good way that John's guitar can save him. Flea's bass is some of the most meandering sounding bass I've ever fucking heard. I hate this album. I genuinely hate this album, and I hate that the Red Hot Chili Peppers put this out. At number 16, it's Different Man by Kane Brown. I do not hate Kane Brown. I hate this album. Especially for its crime against humanity, which I will be talking more about on the worst songs list, Like I Like Country Music. That song is abhorrent and horrible. Bury Me Down, Georgia is pretty alright. I like that song. But outside of that, this is just typical pop country, and not even in, like, the bro country way where it's actually fun to make fun of. This is just annoying in every way to talk about it, where you can't even have a good discussion about it, or a fun discussion about it, like Florida-Georgia fucking line. Number 15 is Hotel California by Hollywood Undead. I don't hate Hollywood Undead. I don't like them, but I don't hate them. I admire what they do, and I think they can be fun, especially on their debut. That's their best album. I think City is a really fun song. Young is a really great song. And there are songs on this that I really enjoy. You know, the Chaos, one of the singles, is really great, but then for every Chaos, you have like 15 horrid Wild in These Streets, where they're not fun. It's the horrid keys and synths that they throw into this goddamn album. The percussion isn't that good, and the vocals are even worse. I don't like this. We can just kill off rap rock at this point. Number 14 is Country Stuff, the album by Walker Hayes. I had zero expectations for this thing, and it exceeded them, but that's not really saying anything. Drinking Songs has to be one of the worst songs of the year, even though it didn't make my list. I can't even... Briefcase is fucking horrid. Life with You is okay, I guess. AA is genuinely one of the worst songs Walker Hayes has ever put out. I think people keep raving about how terrible Fancy Like is. Most of these songs beat that out. Like, by a long shot. I would rather listen to Fancy Like for an hour than listen to this album again. That's how I feel about Walker Hayes. At number 13 is AM Gold by Train. Again, zero expectations. It exceeded them by being listenable, but listenable isn't good. This is the worst kind of bad, in which it is so boring that there's 0 point in why anyone would ever make it, let alone buy it. I don't understand how Train is still a band that receives attention. AM Gold, yeah, because it's so forgettable that people won't mind having it on in the car. Number 12 is Give Me the Future by Bastille. This one hurts. I like Bastille. I think they're a great band. I don't like their Imagine Dragons direction, though. And I'm pretty sure Dan, I forget his name, but Dan from Imagine Dragons wrote some of these songs, according to an article, I think, from iHeartRadio or something. And it shows. This is not good. I don't like the electro-pop type turn they took. That was alliteration. I genuinely dislike this album. I don't think it's good. I really don't. I wish they'd go back to Pompeii era, or even like from 2019. I forget that album, but Doom Days, I think is what it was called. Doom Days era, but whatever. Number 11 is The Josh Ramsay Show by Josh Ramsay. I've done a full review on this thing, and it hurt to return to. I'm surprised none of the songs made my worst list, but this is also just really boring. And when it does become offensively bad, it's really bad. For example, the fucking DJ Shark track. That's horrible. I hate that song so much. And when the best part of your album is the Chad Kroeger feature, I feel like you need to go back to the drawing board. You know what I mean? Whatever. Number 10 is Herd Immunity by Sean Leon. This mixtape was boring as fuck. Some of the beats went hard, but Sean Leon just doesn't have any ability. Or if he does, he just isn't showing it. He is holding his cards, and I don't know why. This mixtape would have been so much better if it was just in your face all the time. But instead, we get these beats that feel like they're in your face, and then behind them is just some guy cowering, where he's like, hey, you want to be friends? You know, it's not good. Number 9 is The Occasion by The Astronomers. This is what AJR probably sounds like to people who don't like AJR. That's what I said about the Go Team last year, but this is what I feel like with The Astronomers. It's not good. I hate The Astronomers. Number 8 is Explosions by 3 Days Grace, another mediocre metalcore album, except this time it's all fucking anthems. And there's no good tracks, in my opinion. A Scar Is Born is so bad, and I believe it just barely missed my 20. It's literally terrible. I don't know why anyone would listen to this. Go listen to the old albums. Go listen to fucking, oh god, December Underground wasn't them. I think it's just X or something. Go listen to that. Go listen to One, I think is what, the one with the hands. You know what I'm talking about? Go listen to that album. That album's okay. If this is your taste in music, maybe it's time to stop listening to music. I'm kidding. Number 7 is Better Than You by DaBaby and Young Boy Never Broke Again. I don't even know. When someone can literally take your song that you thought of the idea for, as far as I'm aware, and change the chorus by a word, and then just take the idea and run with it, and does it better than you by leagues, I think you're in for a bad business. Like, this is not a good album. DaBaby soils it with his 1.5 flows, and Young Boy Never Broke Again is so forgettable he can't even take the mood up. This is the worst rap collaboration of the year. But number 6 is the worst house album of the year. Honestly, Nevermind by Drake. I did not do a review of this, thank God, but I should have. I hate every track on this album aside from like 3, which I either tolerate, like, or really like, and that's it. Currents might be one of the worst songs of the year. Sticky is so goddamn annoying. I fucking hate that song so much. Drake doesn't even sound like he's involved. He sounds so bored out of his goddamn mind, and it makes me bored out of my goddamn mind. I hate this album, and I hate the fact that I have 5 other albums above it. That's what I hate. And I hate the fact that my number 5 is Impera by Ghost. I listened to Ghost's rest of discography, and they're a really good band, guys. I really like Ghost. Except for this album. This album is so terrible, and it has fallen off of me with time. Tracks I could tolerate, I can no longer stand. Kairizion, or Karasion, or whatever the fuck. Hate that track. That track's really annoying. Driftwood, horrid interlude. It's not a good album, guys. Skip it. Demons Protected by Angels at number 4 by Nav. What are we even doing anymore? This is easy fruit. This is low-hanging fruit. And I'm surprised I liked a song off of this at all. Never Sleep goes hard. That's a great single, I will say. Aside from that producer tagline, that's a really odd line, but I like the song. Everything else on this thing, it's so boring. Last of the Mohicans might be one of the worst songs, one of the worst rap songs of the year is. And the features on this thing sound so dejected, they can't even save tracks that I expected them to. Lil Uzi Vert is on this thing, and I don't even like him on that thing. And I like Lil Uzi Vert, surprisingly. It's not good at all. My number 3 is Burning Barn by Buckshot. This is the worst mix of country and rap I have heard in a while. And it's just offensively bad at every turn, especially the worst song of the year is on this goddamn thing. And at number 2 is Pink is Better by Token. Look, I've never been a huge fan of Token. I respect him for the most part, but he just takes features that should elevate him, like J.I.D. and Rico Nasty, and ruins them. J.I.D. cannot save his track on this thing, and neither can Rico Nasty. They both suck on this album, and Token sucks even worse. I expected this out of Token. I didn't expect him to bring that down as much, you know? The concept is fine, although it's a little cheesy and corny for my taste, and Token cannot ride on the corniness like Logic can, for example. Token is not Logic. Token is shit. And at my number 1 is Dominion by Skillet. I don't know what anyone expected. Christian metal is not very good, especially when Skillet does it. Skillet has some decent riffs on this thing. I think White Horse has an okay-ish riff, but the vocals of both of the singers suck so much, and the lyrics are so cringy, and the fucking percussion is so boring. This album's worst crime is being religious and boring. It's not good, okay? I don't even want to talk about this anymore, but I still have another worst video to do. God. Anyway, that was my 20 worst albums of 2022. If you agreed with some of these or think I left something out that I shouldn't have, comment it down below and I'll probably reply. Or if you disagree with any of these, go ahead. I know I'll probably be getting a comment from Jeremy Reviews about how I put Token at number 2 and how I put fucking what's the other one of these that he liked? Pretty sure it's The Astronomers, about how I put The Astronomers in my top 10, but whatever. Jeremy, I love you, you do great work. I just disagree with you on some things. But that's my list. Peace. Have a good night.